Tuesday, November 4, 2025, delivered a political earthquake no one saw coming. The entire nation watched in disbelief as the results rolled in, upending months of predictions and expert analysis. After a tough 2024, Democrats needed hope and got a sweeping victory across the country. The energy in Democratic headquarters was electric, with supporters embracing and tears of joy flowing freely. These wins were loud, clear, and a major blow to President Trump and his Republican allies, who expected to keep their momentum. The shock was palpable among Republican supporters, who had braced for close races but not for such a decisive defeat. President Trump, just 10 months into his second term, saw his approval ratings drop as voters grew tired of constant political battles and economic struggles. The administration's inability to break the gridlock left many Americans feeling frustrated and unheard. The ongoing government shutdown, which Trump blamed for the losses, only deepened voter frustration. With federal workers furloughed and services halted, the shutdown became a symbol of dysfunction in Washington. What made these wins remarkable was their breadth. Democrats won everywhere, from New York City, where celebrations lit up the night sky, to the suburbs of Virginia and New Jersey. Even traditionally conservative districts saw surprising Democratic gains, signaling a shift in voter sentiment. The party's focus on practical solutions and the economy resonated, while Republican messaging on immigration and crime fell flat. Voters seemed to crave stability and real answers to everyday problems. Trump's grip on the GOP appears to be loosening, as his endorsed candidates struggle to connect with independents. The party now faces tough questions about its future direction. These crucial swing voters moved decisively toward Democrats, signaling a major shift in the political winds. Their voices, once unpredictable, became the deciding factor in race after race. The White House was left scrambling for answers, while Democrats gained a powerful boost of confidence. Party leaders now see new opportunities to push their agenda forward. The landscape heading into the 2026 midterms now looks dramatically different, with a challenging road ahead for the president. Both parties are recalibrating, but for now, Democrats are riding high on a wave of unexpected momentum. Virginia set the tone for a night of historic change, as Democrat Abigail Spanberger became the state's first female governor, breaking a long-standing barrier and inspiring women across the country. Running as a pragmatic moderate, Spanberger focused her campaign on practical solutions to everyday problems, emphasizing bipartisanship and a willingness to listen to all Virginians. Her decisive win sent a clear message that voters in swing states value competence, steady leadership, and a results-driven approach over partisan rhetoric. In New Jersey, Mikie Sherrill, a moderate Democrat and former Navy helicopter pilot, won the governorship by double digits, defying expectations and flipping key suburban districts. Both Spanberger and Sherrill made affordability and economic opportunity central to their campaigns, broadening Democratic appeal to working families and independents. In New York City, Zohran Mamdani, a 34-year-old Democratic socialist and community organizer, stunned the nation by defeating Andrew Cuomo and becoming the city's first Muslim mayor, marking a new era for the city. Mamdani's bold campaign for affordability, rent control, and higher taxes on the wealthy energized record turnout, especially among young and first-time voters. Down ballot, Democrats secured key wins that will shape state policy for years to come, including a new majority on Pennsylvania's Supreme Court and crucial seats on Georgia's Public Service Commission, expanding their influence in the South. In another milestone, Virginia's Ghazala Hashmi became the state's first Muslim lieutenant governor, reflecting the state's growing diversity. These victories, from governor's mansions to state courts, demonstrated the Democratic Party's growing strength and momentum at every level of government. The party's diverse slate of candidates and focus on real-world issues proved to be a winning formula, signaling a new chapter in American politics. Tuesday's victories signaled a seismic shift in American politics, driven largely by the power and influence of independent voters, who are increasingly shaping the direction of elections. In Virginia and New Jersey, Democrats won independents by double-digit margins, a clear rejection of Trump's brand, and a sign that swing voters are looking for something different from the status quo. Democrats also reversed recent Republican gains among Latino voters, winning them by wide margins in key states. This shift highlights the growing importance of Latino communities in determining electoral outcomes. The party's economic message outperformed Republican culture war themes, showing Latino voters are not a single-issue bloc. Instead, they responded to promises of economic opportunity, job growth, and support for working families. Democrats proved they could win with moderates in swing states, building broad coalitions that reach across traditional party lines and appeal to voters who may have felt left out in recent years. And by energizing progressives in big cities, they demonstrated strategic flexibility, balancing the needs of their base with the concerns of centrists and independents. This adaptability, tailoring messages to local concerns while uniting on core economic issues, offers a powerful roadmap for future elections, showing that listening to communities pays off. Voters sent a message. They're tired of gridlock and extremism, and want leaders focused on affordability, practical solutions, and policies that make a real difference in their daily lives. The Democratic victories validated this approach, while Republicans face a warning about sticking too closely to Trump and failing to address the issues that matter most to voters. For Democrats, it's a green light to keep building on this strategy, refining their message and expanding their reach to even more communities. For Republicans, it's a wake-up call to rethink their direction, reconnect with voters, and reconsider the issues they prioritize if they hope to remain competitive. The political landscape is changing fast, and both parties must adapt quickly to meet the evolving demands of the American electorate. The economy, and especially the cost of living, was the top issue for voters everywhere. Exit polls showed that in states like Virginia and New Jersey, most voters were worried about affordability and rated the economy poorly. Democrats built their campaigns around lowering healthcare costs, making childcare accessible, and tackling rising prices. This kitchen table focus resonated deeply, especially with Latino voters who had been hit hard by inflation. Republicans tried to make the election about immigration and crime, but voters cared more about their wallets. Democratic candidates offered concrete proposals, while Republicans stuck to culture war talking points. For many families, the choice was clear: vote for those who understood their struggles. The success of this economic message is the major lesson of the 2025 elections. In times of uncertainty, voters want practical solutions, not ideology. Democrats' focus on affordability paved the way for their big night. The Democratic Party's big night wasn't just about one wing, it was a victory for both moderates and progressives. In swing states like Virginia and New Jersey, moderates like Spanberger and Sherrill won by appealing to independents and tired Republicans. Their pragmatic centrist campaigns proved effective in suburban-heavy states. Meanwhile, in New York City, Zohran Mamdani's progressive democratic socialist platform energized young and working-class voters, driving record turnout. The lesson: Democrats don't have to choose between moderate or progressive. They can be both, adapting to local needs. What unites them is a focus on economic fairness and helping working people. Whether lowering costs or expanding services, the goal is the same. This strategic flexibility is a major strength for Democrats moving forward. The party's big tent approach is working, and it's winning. The 2025 elections delivered a clear verdict. President Trump's influence is fading. Democrats tied their opponents to Trump's unpopular policies and the government shutdown, swaying crucial independents. Independent voters swung heavily toward Democrats, rejecting Trump's divisive style and economic record. Trump's angry social media outbursts after the losses only reinforced his image as out of touch. The GOP now faces a dilemma. Trump remains popular with the base, but his appeal is shrinking elsewhere. Few Republican leaders dare to break with him, but sticking with Trump may be a losing strategy. With Trump ineligible for a third term, the party's future is uncertain. The Trump problem is now central to the GOP's identity crisis. The Republican Party is in crisis after Tuesday's crushing defeats. For years, the party has been defined by Trump's style and priorities, but that strategy is failing. Culture war issues like immigration and crime didn't connect. Voters cared more about the economy. The GOP's close alignment with Trump alienated independents, costing them the middle ground. Few Republicans feel safe criticizing Trump, fearing backlash from his loyal base. This leaves the party paralyzed. Sticking with Trump risks general election losses, but breaking with him risks internal revolt. With Trump unable to run in 2028, new leaders must emerge. The party must decide, double down on Trumpism, or forge a new, broader path. The 2025 elections were a clear warning. Change is needed for future success. Amid the national headlines, California delivered a strategic win for Democrats with Proposition 50. The measure suspends the state's independent redistricting commission, letting the Democratic legislature redraw congressional maps for 2026. This move, championed by Governor Gavin Newsom, is a direct response to Republican gerrymandering in states like Texas and Florida. Proposition 50 is expected to net Democrats several more House seats, leveling the playing field. Newsom's leadership and fundraising made him a national figure willing to fight GOP tactics head-on. Critics argue it undermines reform, but supporters say it's a necessary countermeasure. The measure's passage gives Democrats a powerful new weapon in the battle for Congress. The controversy highlights the high stakes of redistricting in American politics. For Democrats, the potential to flip House seats was too big to pass up. The 2025 Democratic victories are more than a one-night story. They're a preview of what's to come. Analysts see the results as the start of a blue wave that could crest in the 2026 midterms. Democrats now have a winning playbook, focus on the economy, run diverse candidates, and leverage structural advantages like Proposition 50. If Trump's approval keeps falling and the economy stays top of mind, Republicans could lose control of Congress. Looking to 2028, Democrats have a deep bench of leaders and a public hungry for stability and competence. The GOP must adapt or risk further losses. The 2025 elections have fundamentally altered the political landscape. For Democrats, it's a new dawn of possibility and hope.